Greetings, friends. What a parsha. How could Am Yisrael break down and worship an idol so soon after they had personally witnessed the greatest miracle since creation? The tragedy is unbearable, but lest we look back arrogantly and say, how could they have brought the Egel after all they had seen? We have to know that we ourselves are suffering from this very sickness today. Let's try to get back to the basics. In Mitzrayim, ancient Egypt, Am Yisrael, let's see the most dramatic and clear manifestation of Hashem's existence since the days of creation. And of course, then came Har Sinai, Mount Sinai. As our sages say, even a maidservant saw at the Red Sea what the prophet Yecheskel ben Buzi did not see. The miracles were clear, and yet, how could we forget so quickly? We all really know why. Because it happens today. The same thing. I personally have seen so many miracles. I'm not a Navi, I'm not a prophet, but if one looks back on one's life, it is so clear that Hashem is taking personal care of us constantly. I write about these things. How I met my wife, for example, which I describe in my book, From Central Park to Sinai. How I found my Jewish soul. It was all impossible. And yet, it happened. During my life, I've been faced by countless situations that seemed impossible. Yet Hashem held my hand. Before I even believed that He existed, He was holding my hand. But we forget. This is what happened in the Midbar in the desert. We forgot what Hashem did for us. Here, now, in the year 5784, we're making the same mistake. Hashem has made mountains of miracles for us. 2,000 years ago, our temple was burned, and we were exiled from our beautiful land, thrown to the lions. There's no logical reason why we should have survived as a distinct nation, especially a nation attached to the Torah. We should have disappeared a million times over. And yet we are today a distinct entity among the nations, so distinct, in fact, that we are the focus of all the world's attention. They want to eliminate us, God forbid. Hashem's name is upon us, and they do not want to acknowledge Hashem's existence. They want to continue their lawless lifestyle. Our very presence reminds them of Hashem's laws, and so they hate us. For this reason, Hashem needs to save us every minute. Every Jew who exists today is a walking miracle. That means every second we should be filled with gratitude to Hashem for saving us. But we forget Him, and that's how we can worship an Egel. The crisis in Gaza began after a year of terrible disunity in Israel. I'm going to say something unpleasant, but I believe that it needs to be said. It's not only the liberals who are responsible for disunity, it's all of us. The so-called religious Yid is also responsible. Extreme people on every side have pushed each other. The result is sinas chinam, tragic disunity and discord. For our survival, we need to be one, united. You cannot push your brother around. There's something more important than political policy, and that is called achdus, unity. We received the Torah because we were united. At Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, we remembered that we were all the children of Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, one family. When we remember our fathers and mothers, then we can also remember our Father in Shemayim, Avinu Malkeinu, our Father and King. My friends, our survival is totally at stake. The haters are focusing on us at this very moment. We need to know that only our dependence on Hashem will save us. David HaMelech says, quote, all the nations surround me, b'shem Hashem amilam, in the name of Hashem, I cut them down. There's a beautiful Shabbos song called Karibon, in which we call out to Hashem. quote, to save your sheep from the mouth of the lions and bring your people out of exile. The people that you chose from all the nations. You know where this song was written? In Gaza, the Rav of Gaza, Rabbi Moshe ben Yisrael Najara, wrote this song 500 years ago. Gaza is part of Eretz Yisrael, and all of Israel is holy. We will succeed, with Hashem's help, in restoring Kedusha, purity to all of Israel. But we need to be united. When we are one, then Hashem's name will be one. On that day, he will be one, and his name one. May we greet the Redeemer soon in our days. Good Shabbos.